Hello, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for tuning in. Today we are covering a story that has caused a stir in South African politics and social discussions. Popper Penny, a prominent community activist and business figure, has publicly called out Minister Gayton McKenzie over recent remarks that many felt were divisive. Popper Penny has made it very clear that he wants no more talking about colored in the public sphere, emphasizing the need for unity and respect across communities. Stay with me until the end so you can hear the sources for this news and verify them yourself. And before we go further, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for updates on news that matters to South Africans. The controversy began when Minister Gayton McKenzie, known for his outspoken style and engagement with social issues, made statements referencing the colored community in a way that sparked debate online and in media circles. Popper Penny reacted strongly, saying that it is time for all leaders and public figures to move beyond outdated racial categorizations and focus on policies and actions that unite rather than divide. For many, Popper Penny's intervention was welcomed as a bold step toward fostering a sense of inclusion in South African discourse. He reminded the public that the country has come a long way since apartheid, and while acknowledging our diverse history is important, reducing people to categories can fuel misunderstanding and division. During a recent interview, Popper Penny said that he has seen too many instances where public discussions and even government programs unintentionally or deliberately marginalize certain groups by constantly referring to racial labels. He urged Minister McKenzie, and other leaders, to lead by example, promoting equality and avoiding language that reinforces separation. The comments have sparked a heated discussion across social media. Some people praise Popper Penny for standing up and demanding accountability, saying it is time for South Africans to focus on common goals such as economic empowerment, education, and job creation rather than dwelling on racial categories. Others, however, have questioned whether completely avoiding terms like colored ignores the unique challenges faced by certain communities. Popper Penny addressed these concerns by clarifying that he is not asking South Africans to forget history or identity, but rather to prioritize human dignity and shared progress in public dialogue. He emphasized that government policies, corporate initiatives, and community projects should be measured by the impact they have on people's lives rather than by how they align with specific racial labels. Minister Gayton McKenzie has not yet issued a detailed response to Popper Penny's remarks, though his office acknowledged the comments and promised to engage with community leaders to discuss the matter further. This is significant because McKenzie's influence extends across financial empowerment initiatives, social development programs, and political discussions, and how he responds could set a tone for public conversations in the weeks ahead. The issue touches on a broader national conversation about identity, language, and representation. In South Africa, categories such as colored, black, Indian, and white carry historical weight and social implications. While recognizing diversity is important, activists like Popper Penny argue that constantly invoking these labels in discussions of policy or community issues risks perpetuating old divisions and distracting from the urgent needs of citizens. For example, employment, housing, healthcare, and education are areas where inclusive language and policy can make a tangible difference. When leaders focus on dividing people by historical categories, it can overshadow practical solutions that benefit everyone. Popper Penny highlighted that unity and collaboration across communities are crucial for tackling the systemic challenges that South Africa faces today. The public response to Popper Penny's statement has been mixed but passionate. Many social media users express support, noting that it is refreshing to see public figures call for dialogue that prioritizes human dignity over labels. Memes and posts have circulated jokingly about how some politicians need a racial category detox, while others have posted serious reflections on how language can shape perceptions and influence policy. Some critics argue that while Popper Penny's call for stopping discussions about racial categories is well-intentioned, it must be paired with concrete action. They suggest that equality cannot be achieved simply by avoiding certain words, and that historical inequalities still require attention in both policy and social programs. Penny acknowledges this, stressing that language and action must go hand in hand, and leaders must demonstrate through their programs that inclusivity is more than just rhetoric. For his part, Penny also touched on the role of education and community engagement. He believes that schools, universities, and local organizations should teach young South Africans to respect diversity while thinking beyond rigid categories. By encouraging youth to see each other first as fellow citizens rather than focusing on race, he argues that the next generation will be better equipped to build a united society. The timing of these remarks is particularly noteworthy. South Africa is facing numerous challenges, including high unemployment, social inequality, and debates about immigration and citizenship. In such a context, discussions about racial labels can easily escalate tensions if not handled sensitively. Penny's intervention highlights the need for leaders to think carefully about the words they use and the messages they send to communities. It is also important to note that Penny's remarks resonate beyond politics. Business leaders, social activists, and ordinary citizens have been reflecting on how labels affect interpersonal interactions, workplace dynamics, and community relationships. Many have expressed hope that public conversations will shift toward collaboration and problem-solving, rather than categorization and division. Of course, some commentators have made light of the situation, joking that politicians need a language refresher course before engaging with the public. Others have quipped that Penny might start handing out dictionaries to leaders to ensure they choose words more carefully. While these jokes bring humor to a serious topic, the underlying message remains clear: words matter, and leaders must be mindful of how they frame discussions about identity. In conclusion, Penny's call for no more public discussion of color in divisive contexts is part of a larger push toward unity and inclusion. His comments challenge public figures, including Minister Gayton McKenzie, to examine how their words affect social cohesion and to prioritize solutions that benefit all South Africans. The reaction from communities, social media, and political circles shows that this is a conversation that is far from over, and how leaders respond will shape public discourse for the months ahead. Remember to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on news that impact South Africans directly. We break down complex stories and bring you the details you need to understand what's happening around you. All images used in this video are for illustration purposes only. News sources: News 24, Times Live, Eyewitness News, Sowetan Live.